Hey guys, Johnny Nerd Out here. Today I want to talk about problems you may run into getting service on your e-bike. This is if you buy a pre-made e-bike, not if you don't convert one. If you want to convert one, go to johnnynerdout.com. I have all the parts, components, and help you're going to need to take a bike and convert a bike into an e-bike, a much more higher performance one for a lot less money. But if you have no interest in doing that, I can help you get a good e-bike, something that you could get parts for. So let's just say you buy an e-bike, you get a flat tire, you're out on a ride, you're 15 miles from home, your wife's out of town, your husband's out of town, whatever, you're on your own. You Google, hey, a bike shop 4 blocks away, you go there and they say, sorry, you got a hub motor on here, we're not going to touch it. It's not worth our insurance to do damage to your motor or your motor cable installing these or repairing it. I've seen it countless times. You'd probably be shocked how many times I've seen a guy damage a motor cable taking this thing on or off. These are heavy. This is like a 15-pound motor in here. It's hard. If you don't have a bike stand, you could easily damage one of these. But if you take it to a bike shop, they do. But it's still not worth a $40 job risking a $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 motor damage. It's not worth it for them, so they're not going to do it. The other thing is, if you have a pre-made e-bike, power goes out, you want to buy, you don't know what's wrong with it, you take it to an e-bike conversion shop, such as myself. Finding parts for a lot of these e-bikes are very difficult. Even if you get one that you're like, oh, I've heard of that brand. As long as that brand is still in business and doing well where they stock their parts, you got to remember, e-bike brands are going out of business constantly. There's new ones coming. Just take a look at how many new e-bike brands there's been, which means other ones they're going under. And they don't carry their parts anymore. And each time you get a new bike, they carry their own proprietary parts. So if you ever need to get replacement parts, make sure that you can get spares for it because you're going to be really upset. This is a bike that we have in here that replacement parts are very difficult to get. And you're like, oh, that looks like every other bike I've seen. Everybody uses proprietary controllers, batteries, a lot of times connectors, displays. So if you bring it to a bike shop, they're going to say, no, go to a custom e-bike shop like me. And then what I'm going to do is, well, I need to take this thing apart. I need to put some hours into this thing, tearing the thing apart, finding out what kind of connectors, are they proprietary, are they universal, what kind of controller is it? Is the company still around, or do I have to go through the Alibaba jungle trying to find a replacement controller that has the same connectors, same voltages, same type of functionality? That adds up. That adds up a lot. If you're paying someone like me to spend time scouring the internet, so I just want you to be prepared for sticker shock when you go to get your e-bike repaired. Some e-bikes are very easy to work on. A very small percentage of pre-made e-bikes are easy to work on. Any mid-drive conversion bike is a snap to work on. Those are very cheap and easy to work on. That's why I'm always pushing people to take a bike, convert it using a mid-drive, usually like a Bafang or 2.7 or CYC, whatever. There's tons of great options out there. The parts are easy to service, easy to replace. The cost is way less than buying a pre-made e-bike, and you're going to get a much better bike, an e-bike on top of that as well. So I always recommend you doing that. And if you're ever not sure about it, if you're like, well, I'm not sure, I'm on the fence of buying or converting one, either way, I've worked at many brands. I'm very familiar with a lot of these e-bikes. I've worked at many conversion shops as well before I started Johnny Nerd Out as my own company back in 2020. So I think I have a very unique perspective on this industry, on both sides of the fence, as customer service, head tech, technical service, all of that. And I've repaired all of these bikes. I think that's the one unique feature between me and everybody else that you see, is that I actually have professional experience building and repairing every single type of bike. And I've seen it. I don't believe there's anybody else out there like me, if I could pat my own back, that has the experience that I do with e-bikes. So if you are ever uncertain, go to johnnynerdout.com. You could book a consultation with me, 10, 15, 20 minutes, whatever you want, and I could give you my perspective, whatever it is you're looking for. If you want to pick my brain on buying a pre-made e-bike, I can do that. If you want to try to build an e-bike yourself, I could easily help you do that. And that's way I prefer, but that's not for everybody, and some people just want to click and buy an e-bike. I get it. They don't want to get their hands dirty, or they don't want to have somebody else build it for them. That's fine. I could help you navigate this and get a bike that at least you're going to be able to get support for and have a bike that could last for 5, 10, 15 years plus. You don't want to get a bike that you have for a year, just get so frustrated in the whole e-bike experience because it was either underpowered, You can't get support for it. There's no accessories. You can't repair it yourself. That's what we want to avoid. So if you're new to this, or even if this is your second go around, head to johnnynerd.com. I'd be happy to help you not make a mistake. All right. Thanks a lot, guys. Have a good one.